I'd like to call the Village of Weston Tourism Commission to order. If we could stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Let's see, roll call.
Ermeling?
Here.
Federic? She's absent. Maloney?
Here.
Wyland? She's excused. Zagami?
Here.
All right, so we've got a quorum. Public comments. I've got a public comment form here from Jim Pincinel. Jim, if you could just stand and your address for the board.
Jim Pincinel, 512 Grove Street, Weston. So I'm commenting on a couple of the agenda items. I think number 7, the grant request for the Wisconsin Valley Fair. Wisconsin Valley Fair is at $5,000 and plans on during 16 hotel stays, none of which are in the Village of Weston. This request is none of the standards set out by the Commission for Funding. People are not traveling from afar to see 2 washed out bands for the 80s and 2 nights of rodeo. On the other hand, their budget shows $11,000 in government grants, so the Village of Weston would be paying $10,000 of that, and the City of Wausau would be paying $1,000. Which kind of sounds like the opposite of what it really should be. It's not held in the Village of Weston, and those hotel stays aren't for the Village of Weston. Wings on the over Wausau, on the other hand, they had the $10,000 ask. We have 152 documented stays. That makes sense to award that grant. And then the snowcross outfit or snowmobile event happens in Red Mountain. We're being asked to contribute 50% more than the Village of Red Mountain, which seems a little skewed. And then finally, the CVB contract. The way that it's presented is not at all looking out for the best interest of the Village of Weston. It's not similar to what was discussed here at the last meeting. The numbers are skewed. I really think the Village of Weston needs to find a different solution than agree to this contract. So I would urge the Tourism Commission to not approve the contract as presented this evening. Thank you.
Let the record show that Commissioner Wyland is present. Okay. All right, thank you, Jim. I'm gonna ask Tim to we're gonna go for the request first. We've got a few people that need to leave for Christmas events tonight.
Good.
So let's move to new business and then we'll go back to acknowledgement for work products. There's no educational, and then we'll go into the old business, which is the CVB contract. So new business number 7, grant request 2025 Wisconsin Valley Fair. Anybody want to talk about that? I do want to note that I had some conversation on this with Jody and Keith Lanahan and Diane Lauder with the Valley Fair and Jody with the CVB. There was some misunderstanding on the hotels on who would be staying there. They really don't know who stays for hotels. I think they had listed something about judges or something like that at first. And, you know, with 142,000 people over 5 or 6 days, I would think with the horses and the different things, there would be definitely some hotel stays. And maybe Jim's right that it wouldn't be in Weston, but certainly in the surrounding area. Just state your name and address for the record.
Okay, Keith Laganon, 225701 Marathon, Wisconsin. And I'm joined with my team person that does a tremendous job for us, Diane Lauder. You want to give your address?
My address is 221-550 Outdoor Road, Marathon.
Okay. We've got your, it's online here as far as all the paperwork and submitted to the CVB and Jody forwarded it to this commission. I think I've heard others just talk about the hotel, so why don't we just get right into that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what you see on the application, the grant application, I misunderstood and I only put down the rooms that we book for judges, superintendents, some of the people from the rodeo and so on and so forth. So these are the rooms that we pay for. There are, of course, dozens of other families, vendors, judges, fairgoers that come from the outskirts of Marathon County because they have kids showing at the fair for the week. Other people that come and stay for several days or a few days from the outlying areas adjacent to Marathon County and even beyond. We have a pretty good annual trek of people from the Neenah, Appleton area, Green Bay, Madison, even Chicago people will come up for some of the concerts because they seem to be a big draw. And then recently, in the past several years, the rodeo has been a huge draw and something that we think will be sustained for a number of years. So I wouldn't know what to put for a number in there, but I would think dozens of rooms are being booked because I also know, even from past experience, that when people come to the fair and they have their kids showing, that's also the week they do all their back to school shopping. So there's a lot going on that kind of goes hand in hand with our 6-day event.
And I think I read in there, and unless if somebody else has, other questions, but a little over 140,000 people over the 5 or 6 day event, right?
Correct.
Okay.
6-day event. Being president of fair, I get the privilege of driving around a lot, checking things. And when the shows start, there's a lot of license plates from Michigan, Illinois, Minnesota. Well, them people don't drive back. They're getting rooms somewhere for the night. And some of them, depending upon what acts we're able to bring in here, some of them stay 2-3 nights. So it's a big draw, and the last time that we did any significant admissions at the gate raise, media come down on us quite hard, and we want it to be a family event. And to bring in $142,000, 142,000 people in 6 days, those people are coming from all the communities. And what has transpired, it used to be the exhibitors were mainly farm kids. Well, how many active farms there are anymore. A lot of them are clover buds now, and their parents in the metro areas are having their kids involved, which is a great thing for Marathon County, but having their kids involved with clover buds and all levels of 4-H. So we're trying to keep it a family event for the residents of Marathon County.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm trying to choke myself here. I noticed the hotel information, that you have contacted Best Western of Wausau and Bantar of Rothschild. I don't see any from Weston.
Correct. I contacted Best Western simply to be the go-between for Dakota Rodeo Company and the fair and the hotel. The cowboys that are in attendance for the rodeo take their stock trailers and their high-end horses with them to the hotel. They wanted something that was as close as possible because they also run from the hotel to the fairgrounds to check on the other stock that is left behind in the small, metal round pens. The other reason that we have Banter on the list is because Banter approached us and wanted to be a sponsor. So they give us a monetary donation, and then we booked a couple of our judges there, and they help us with some additional odds and ends for the fair.
Well, I guess my concern would be that if, none of our hotels are listed, I wouldn't agree.
And we can start using them if we get some teamwork here, so.
Yeah.
The
I
few-
think-
we
Yeah,
don't-
I
we
think
don't
it's a
book
great
lot of
event.
groups,
I
so.
also go to the rodeo in Merrill, but again, I don't spend the night. I drive back home.
Mhm.
But I think we also discussed if the event's not in, you know, in our municipality, that we're not going to grant the full amount.
Mhm.
I think we all agreed upon that, so.
Right, and
I don't- I don't-
But that there was some, that we were going to have some hotels and such in their brochures, so
Mhm.
that, you know.
So I guess,
Right, we
personally, I
adopt,
guess I would be okay with a couple thousand, but definitely not 10. It's not in our area. There's no hotels in our area listed. But
Yeah.
again, if
Is
you
there
have the
time-
numbers.
Is there
next
time to
year-
change that yet, before next
Well,
August?
one thing I guess I'd like to add, City of Wausau was brought up that it's held there. Well, we get 100% of the security up to this point from City of Wausau. And before Wausau agreed to do that about 5 years ago, we used to pay Permar like $12,000-15,000 a year, and we haven't had to do that since City of Wausau got to be a major player with us. City of Wausau and Marathon County are doing our security. We haven't had to hire Permar, so the city is putting in a big amount right there.
Is that gonna change this year? Cause I'm seeing it, they're doing a lot of stuff with Wassa events and they're charging for a lot of the events now,
They
this upcoming year.
don't know, they don't have the formula worked out as to how they're gonna come up with a total for that. And, I'll be working with the mayor on that also. And he is concerned about the fair. He talked to me last year after the fair.
One more comment, yeah, I agree with Jamie, is that at this point, I mean, Weston isn't there because of course we didn't contribute anything. But if you come back again next year, if we do something this year and you come back again next year, I would like to see some numbers that show that, you know, our money is being.
Well, you have to do, we require a post. event,
Right.
You know.
But I mean,
So,
right
yeah.
now, like I said, we have nothing to go by.
Brand new. It is the biggest draw in the area for the year. I think the Hmong Association is about 50,000, about 40 to 50,000, I think. Yeah.
But the
So,
motels usually can give us an idea
right.
how busy they became during that time or whatever. So,
Okay. Anyone want Carrie make a motion?
The motion that is potentially made, if we could just also include, we talked last month about making sure that our post-report form is what is used. So I would suggest in the motion that it would include that our post-report is what's included with the feedback after the event to the.
Yep, I think we're adding that to this deal here. I mean, I saw some verbiage from trustee Pincinel, right?
Yep, but that would be, that contract would be January 1.
Yep.
So
Oh,
I think
see.
we would
I
just,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, using our structure, okay.
How do you feel about half?
I'd be fine with half.
and if next year they can show us.
Yeah, yeah.
Of the hotel,
Okay.
you know, then
Mhm.
maybe the request was.
and Jody from tourism had asked me if we were open to booking rooms in Weston, and I said, yes.
Mhm.
We just had never been approached.
Mhm.
So
When you approached us, now we're gonna approach.
Yes.
you.
Well, I think even if we canvass the hotels, I think we'll hear some of that too. I would
Right.
think.
Okay,
You wanna go?
so, yeah, sure. I'll move to approve the grant request for $5,000 to the Marathon County Agriculture Society for Wisconsin Valley Fair. And also to
Utilize.
what,
Our post,
utilize our
yeah.
post report,
Okay.
that's included in the feedback.
Okay, second?
Second,
Second by Ermeling. So we have a motion by Wyland for $5,000, including using our paperwork for the post report. Second by Ermeling. Anything on the question? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
right,
Opposed? So carried. Hopefully that'll get you to go to other communities and get that going too. So,
appreciate it
okay.
very much.
All right, you
Yeah.
bet.
He
Thank
said
you
if
very
you-
much.
and if you
Enjoy your
can
event
show
tonight,
us-
Diane. Yep, okay.
And to me, if you can show us that
Mhm,
you are doing hotel and
Mhm.
advertising our hotels,
mhm.
then next year we may look at it you know.
Yeah,
Would we be able to use your tourism logo,
Yes.
Weston's, on,
Mhm.
like on our website?
Yes,
Yeah.
please do it as many times as you want.
Okay.
Yes, yes, please, yes.
And I believe Jody has that information and she can get it sent to you. Yep.
Okay,
We had
good.
talked about that. Was-
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your time.
Merry
Nice seeing
Christmas.
you, Keith.
Thank
Yep,
you.
yep, thanks. Number 8, go ahead. We got, grant request for 2025 Wings of Wausau events.
So I'm Ally, I'm the executive director for Wausau Events. Today we're here to talk about $10,000 grant request for Wings Over Wausau. So this upcoming year will be the 4th year of our Wings Over Wausau event. Last year, as you guys are probably aware, was an extremely rainy season for a lot of our events. Wings Over Wausau were one of the only weekend events, I'd say, that persevered through all the weather that was handed to us. We didn't go ahead and cancel the event. We did end up doing free admission for the public. Trying to get as many people out there with us. Our staff was just all super positive throughout the weekend. We had a lot of positive community members. Fireworks happened each day still regardless of the weather. One of our air shows was able to happen in a different capacity than we had planned. But this year we're super excited. We do have the US Army Golden Knights coming back with us, the parachute team. And then we do have a couple of other exciting acts that'll be announced here in the upcoming weeks, along with other military participation coming as well. So it is an event that is exponentially growing from our standpoint. We're really increasing the military, vocational, aviation aspect of things, as well as all the regular like round activities for kids. So we're just really excited again to bring it back. We are this year charging an admission fee at the gates. Last year, again, it was only free admission because of the weather. We opened it up for that circumstance. But normally we work with the Holiday Inn Express here in Weston for hotel rooms for our pilots. They absolutely love that hotel, love staying there. And they love all the different amenities here that are offered in this little downtown Weston part, I guess you could call it.
Big downtown, big
Yeah,
downtown.
downtown Weston, right, yeah. So we're super excited to bring that partnership back. Last year, so 2 years ago, we had about 19,000 trackable attendees through various reports that we were given. And then last year, we expected we had like around 9,000 attendees. So this year, we're hoping to get back up to the number from 2 years ago, if not possibly more. So if there's any questions on that event.
Questions? Jamie?
I don't.
We're good with the amount? Whoever's gonna make a motion?
I think they've shown that there is hotels in being used. I mean, that's the whole.
It's a 2-day event, right?
Yep, it's a 2-day event, and then the Weston logo's thrown on all of our advertising for
Okay.
What other hotels besides Holiday Inn?
So in Weston, it's the Holiday Inn. We work with Hilton Garden Inn out in Red Mountain, and then we work with Banner and Rothschild. And then the Jefferson Street Inn in Wausau.
It's
So
at,
those are,
Yeah, are
It's
the rooms blocked out for the Holiday Inn or?
yep, correct. Yep, we've been working with Kim to do that. And the ones that are listed on the packet are only the Weston hotels that we book. They're not the all-inclusive hotels.
And how many rooms do you have blocked out?
Right now, we have what's listed there held for us, for our pilots for this upcoming year.
and it's at the Wausau Downtown Airport, right?
Yep, correct. And then we will have the shuttle this year too, going to all the municipalities like we did last year. So specifically,
that's
there'll be a Weston and Rothschild bus, and then there'll be a Red Mountain Wausau Hotel bus too.
How much have we given in the past?
10,000.
Where does the shuttle pick up in Weston?
We use the Holiday Inn Express in Weston, and then we go to the Fairfield, kind of across the highway too.
So if there were people that were staying there outside of the pilots, they
Correct,
would
yep.
have easy.
Yeah, and we advertise it too, that, like the Holiday Inn Express has been great with us in the past and letting like general public park there and catch the shuttle as well. And so, I mean, last year we did have to cancel the shuttle, because of all the weather factors and everything like that. But 2 years ago, we did have it running and there were people that rode it, so.
5,000. 5,000 recommended.
They're asking for 10, but if you're gonna make a motion, that's up to you.
That's what they approved here.
I'm sorry, who did? What do you think?
Oh, I think that's for the 4th of July event, so that's the next one that I
Yeah, that's the
have.
next one. She's on both. In fact, I think she's on a couple, yeah.
I was gonna say, I can't find 5.
Why do you ask for 5 for the For the other one in.
Yeah, so we can talk about Fourth of July. So, 2 years ago, the Fourth of July was held by the city of Wausau. It was run through the mayor's office. And then last year, we were approached to take it on and run it just because of our, organization and the capacity of what we have to be able to run events. So last year we did hold it. It was just our goal to have an event to open it for free admission for the public to watch the fireworks show, to have a higher fireworks show that could be seen in various municipalities. And to really just have that community input, I guess you could say, to have that happen, because in the past, fireworks events around here have either had to be canceled for various factors or not held. So this year, what we're looking to do is we're looking to just, again, open the airport for free for the public. We're gonna have a couple of food vendors and bands that'll play before, we'll shoot the fireworks off. The noticeable thing that we'll have this year is that our fireworks shoot team is able to shoot the fireworks significantly higher than what had been done 2 years ago. So they were seen in 7 different municipalities this previous year, and we did have spotters out there that we trust, I guess you could say, to be able to relay that information to us. But the pick and save specifically over here in Weston was kind of having a tailgate party to watch the fireworks, and I was told that was a great location. So they are being able to be visibly seen. We had about 8,000 people with us last year. We didn't have a tracking capacity because our event, again, because of rain, had to be moved 2 days later than planned. So a lot of our staff were taken away, or volunteers were not able to make it. But this is one that we go for funding to various municipalities to pull this off. It's kind of a team effort. So it does go towards marketing, but I'll be flat out honest, some of it does go towards the fireworks cost itself too. We pay about $30,000 to $40,000 in fireworks just for this event alone. Festival Foods is our main fireworks sponsor.
That's what I was gonna say. Doesn't Festival take this on?
Festival takes it on for 15,000, and then we get the rest of the funding through our municipalities.
Okay, all right. I know they do it in all their communities.
Yeah.
Jessica?
So 2 years ago, the Village of Weston did donate. What they did 2 years ago is we paid it from our portion of the room tax. So instead of transferring the full amount to the CIP, we did pay $5,000. So that's another option if you're not comfortable using the stuff that's for tourism. We have just taken it out of our regular funds before. So
Oh, okay.
that's
So out
what
of,
we did
out
2
of
years
the,
ago. So last year we were not asked to participate, but
right,
when Keith was here, yeah, we.
so out of the first 30, we took it out of there. Okay,
So just throwing it out
Yep,
as an
yep.
option.
okay.
Mr. President,
So,
the mayor
yes.
is here too if he wanted to speak on either one of these
Yeah,
items. Not
okay.
sure if that's why you're here. No,
No, okay. Mhm.
mayor behind you.
He's here to say hello. Yeah, he's here to say hello, introduce himself.
Could you kindly tell me if you asked Rothschild or?
Yep, we
Watson?
have, we've asked them all for funding for the fireworks as well as Wings Over Weston.
Okay, the amount, please.
I believe Rothschild was 2,500, Red Mountain's 5, that meeting hasn't happened yet, for fireworks specifically. And then the amount for Wings Over Wausau is the same for the municipalities, except for Rothschild was 5.
So Wausau is what, 10,000?
Yeah, Wausau's 10,000, Red Mountain's 10,000, this is for Wings Over Wausau. And then, Weston, we asked for 10,000, Rothschild, we asked for 5, and then for the fireworks, it was 2,500 for Rothschild, 5 for Red Mountain, 10 for Wausau, because they're held in Wausau, so Wausau normally pays more towards it. And because it's an event that Wausau had asked us to historically take on.
And Tim, just real quick, Ally, Tim, the hierarchy on hotels is Wausau, Rothschild, and then Weston, correct? Where- where does- Yeah, where does Rib Mountain fall in there?
Wausau, Rothschild, right now Weston. And.
But we'll get beat up by Rib Mountain when they build another one. Okay. So we're at currently 3rd, but we'll be 4th. Okay. All right.
Move to approve 10,000?
So you're gonna be, you're doing that on the first one?
Right.
Okay. So we have a motion by Zagami on the Wings Over Wausau of $10,000 contribution. Is there a second? Is there a second by Ermeling? Any more on the discussion?
That includes that they use our
Yep.
post-event report.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
We'll take that on everyone. Hearing no more discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Now let's move on to number 9, grant request July 4th fireworks. That was a $5,000 request? Yep. Is there what's your pleasure?
I guess I kind of wonder why we're getting 5 and Rothschild's getting 25.
It's
Well, that's
all
why-
the time like that. It's not just now,
Mhm.
it's always less than what we pay.
Ellie, is this our first request for fireworks?
It is since Wausau Events has taken
Right,
it over.
right,
And
okay.
so we just kind of historically went with what the agreement was that you guys had with, the city of Wausau 2 years ago.
Okay, So-
And then I will just note too, the rooms that we have in there are for our fireworks shoot team, so we are planning to put them at the Holiday Inn Express this year.
okay. So that $5,000 request and with the hotel at the Holiday Inn and then our post report on our paperwork. And we do have a motion or we don't? Not yet?
We do.
Okay.
Not yet. Move this along, I move to approve the grant request
Okay,
of $5,000 for the WASA events and using our.
okay. So a motion by Ermeling on a $5,000 request grant and using our post report paperwork for follow-up. Is there a second? Second by Wyland. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. And let's see, we have a Battle of the Bull Falls. And, okay. Did this used to be called something else? Nope, this isn't the flip mirror win
No,
thing? No? Okay, all right.
this is a snow cross race, not ice.
Ah, okay, gotcha. All right.
My name is Jennifer Johnson. I do membership and fundraising for the Rib Night Snowmobile Club. This is Joe Bauer, our president, and I live personally in Rib Mountain. Joe lives in actually Merrill. We do have some members that do live in the Weston area, but a good portion are in the Rib Mountain and Wausau address areas.
Okay.
This is technically the 4th year, but only the 3rd year of racing. So Battle at Bull Falls is put on by Midwest Snowcross. Midwest Snowcross was founded in 2021. The first year of racing started at the end of 2021, and the first race was held January of 2022 in Wausau. They had under 500 attendees total between the participants and spectators. February of 23 was the 2nd year. There were 197 racers and just over 1,000 participants between racers, families, and spectators. Unfortunately, last year was canceled due to no snow. There was not even a lack of snow, there was just no snow. And it was the first year that Rib Nights was actually hosting it fully, 100%. The first year Midwest had put it on, the 2nd year was about half and half. And then last year was 100% gonna be hosted by Rib Nights. So this coming year, we actually anticipate it to be a much bigger event because they did add a women's class this year. They did add extra classes last year that we were not able to see the benefit from either. But Rib Nights has become a 501c3 this past July. Previously, we were a C7, so our donations were not tax deductible, but now they are. We are centrally located from all the race locations between Plymouth, Wisconsin, Hartford, Wisconsin, Winter, Wisconsin, and then they did add Hutchinson, Minnesota. So it's a well-attended event by most of the racers that they have in the circuit. It's one of the only events in this area, obviously the only event in this area that does the snow cross racing
And it's held out at.
at the 525 track, yes.
Okay. Any questions? Oh, go ahead.
I would like to clarify, I'm not sure, he said that we were asking for 50% more here than Rib Mountain, that's not accurate, we did ask Rib Mountain for 10,000.
Okay.
Here we are asking for 6,000. At this time, we did get 6,000 from Sports Authority and 6,000 from Rib Mountain.
Okay. And you asked 10 from Rib Mountain?
We did.
Okay, what about Wausau? And-
City of Wausau,
Yeah.
we have not heard back from them.
Okay.
I followed up twice and have not even got confirmation that they received our
Okay.
application.
And Rothschild by chance?
Rothschild, we did ask for 5,000. We are meeting with them on Thursday.
Okay. Questions? Anyone?
I do know, I can say last year when Rothschild did donate, it was $2,000.
Okay.
Partly because it was further away. They did move our weekend on us. We were the last weekend in February. We're now that 3rd weekend, which happens to be President's Day weekend. we are told that the hotels are full. So we are getting hotels from every municipality, advertised on our website. The reason, obviously, a lot of skiers come up for that 3-day weekend, and then the state bowling is going on, taking a lot of the area hotels also.
Yeah, deals, yeah.
So we can't focus on one municipality for our hotels. Like I said, there's just over 200 racers that we are aware of at this time. 2 years ago, the race was Friday night and Saturday, so they came in Friday morning, had their practice, raced Friday night and Saturday, and then went home. This year, or this coming February, it's gonna be Saturday, Sunday, so they're gonna actually come in on Friday and practice Friday night, stay Friday night, race Saturday, stay Saturday night, and race all day Sunday again. So it will be, a lot of racers will have 2 hotel night stays.
I guess just from the number of attendees and it being so far away, I'm okay with 2,500, but then coming back with the report next year.
Okay, so you making that a motion?
Yes.
Motion by Wyland for a $2,500 grant approval with the post report on our paperwork showing what all happened for next year. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Zagami. So we have a motion and a second for $2,500. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We're gonna help you out with 2,500, okay? Thank you. Let's see, next one is grant request, meeting business funds, Mission of Mercy.
All right, well,
Anybody here for that?
good evening, everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'm via Zoom. I am Mark Spiegelhoff. I serve as the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Dental Association Foundation. This Mission of Mercy is probably not an annual event you would have seen before, although we've conducted it in the Wausau area before. So let me give you a little background to start so you're up to speed on that, and then I can get into some of the specifics related to hotel use and what we're requesting today. So first, the Mission of Mercy is a temporary dental clinic that is set up in a selected Wisconsin community for 2 days of oral healthcare treatment. The event takes place every other year during the summer and then moves to a new Wisconsin location. We target areas where the need for dental care is the greatest and the average income tends to be low. So in order to do an event like this, as we are proposing being in the Weston area, we need a staffing probably about 650 volunteers. That could range anything from dentists to dental students, hygienists, and general volunteers. The Mission of Mercy event concentrates on basic oral services such as cleanings, extractions, fillings, dental education, and a limited number of partial and full dentures. And all services at this event, this Mission of Mercy event, are at no cost to the patient. The only requirements for participation are the willingness to wait for the services as it is delivered on a first come, first served basis, and that the prospective patient must not have any serious medical conditions that could put them in danger during their medical treatment. And the event goal is really simple. It's to free individuals from pain and return them to a clean playing field so they can take charge of their own oral health moving forward. Since we conducted the first Mission of Mercy event in Wisconsin in 2009, we've served over 16,000 individuals and the adults that receive care in the amount of $11.3 million. So we're going to be holding the Mission of Mercy event in 2025 at the DC Everest Middle School. And we're very excited to have that happen on July 25th and 26th. And that will draw patients from about 100-mile radius surrounding the Wausau area. But the majority of the patients, probably about 71% or so, based on historical data, will be from the local community area. This event is going to draw individuals with limited financial income and without dental insurance. And of course, this population, oral health care is usually not a top priority. This is due to a variety of circumstances, as you might guess, transportation, lack of income, etc. I don't need to go into all that, but it definitely is not a top priority. We try to step in and serve this community need by providing this oral health care in this short-term dental clinic. The additional impact or benefit, rather, I'd say, to the community served is the impact of 700 volunteers, as I mentioned earlier, 650, 700, that spend money on the hotels, restaurants, and retail stores during the 2-day event. So just FYI, we actually held this event before in the Wausau area. It was held in 2011, and at that point, we did a 100 dental chair event. And we had over 1,000 volunteers, we had over 1,500 patients, and we gave over $1.1 million worth of care. This time around, on July 25th and 26th, we're gonna do a 45 chair event. That's been the standard for us coming out of COVID ever since. So at that point, we'll serve 700 individuals and children. They'll probably be, amount to about 1,000 patient visits. The value of the treatment given away by those dentists that volunteer will be about $850,000. So in order to provide this event to the community up there of the greater Wausau area, we need to raise $200,000. So obviously I've been very busy doing that. And obviously I talked to Jody from the Visit Wausau area, and we started working on an arrangement whereby we would reserve hotel rooms. And I just wanted to give you an update on that so far. So far, out of the 200 room nights we need, we've reserved 96 rooms in the Weston area. We have 2 hotels, the Comfort Inn and Suites and the Fairfield by Marriott. We're also in discussions with the Country Inn and Suites in the nearby community as well. And I know we do have to follow up with some hotels that we're very busy with skiing events that we have to follow up in the Western area after the first of the year, according to Jody. So our request to you tonight is for $9,315, and that is for the cost to rent the DC Everest Middle School for the event. So at this point, I'm going to pause and see if you guys have any questions.
This is Mark Maloney. Mark, are you related to Dave Spiegelhoff?
Distant relative, I believe.
Okay. I just knew him for a long time.
Very good.
And then Tim or Jody, the request is from the meeting means business. What does that mean?
So.
Is that a separate pool?
It's a separate account, and on the spreadsheet, I highlighted both the amounts. One is for the grant account where all of the grants are coming out of, and the other one is the meeting need business, and Village of Weston didn't have any funds distributed out yet, so this would actually be a first request. The qualification for it is it's funds to put towards like a meeting or a convention that's bringing here. And so this one would qualify for the school to host that event.
Yeah. I'll make the motion if somebody else does it.
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I move to approve the grant request, meeting need business funds of $9,315 to Wisconsin Dental Association Foundation, Inc. for Mission of Mercy.
Motion by, yeah,
Report.
motion by Ermeling to grant the full amount of $93,015, $9,315. Excuse
Say
me.
that much, I would.
Yeah, hold it. My wallet's not here tonight. Second by Wyland. Any more on the discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Very good job, Mark. And what a great event and very needed. So.
You know, we're really looking forward to coming to your area this summer. I've been to Wausau a number of times, and I'm so excited to bring this kind of service to those people who need it in your community.
That's outstanding.
Mark,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, how does someone go about applying for services?
So if you recall, it's a first come, first served basis. They have to come to the middle school and stand in line. And then we do intake on them and move them through as fast as we can during those 2 days.
But
So there is no application form. There's just an intake form once they arrive and are being processed and getting into a dental chair.
But someone may show up and then the need isn't there, the financial need isn't there, and they could be turned away, correct?
No, we don't ask any questions about that. But we recognize, keep in mind, it is the folks who need it that come. Most people are fairly honest. There could be 1 or 2 that slip through the cracks, but for the most part, it's the folks in need. And some of them are traveling a great distance, even beyond the local community, to come in for care.
Okay. Outstanding. Thank you, Mark.
Right, thank you.
Okay. All right.
It's a good use of our money.
Yeah, very much.
For the community.
Let's see, we've got 3 post events. Do we have people here for that? Or
If
could we,
anyone's here for their post event.
so we can do post events last?
We could, or I don't know if you wanted to take a motion just to accept all of them. and
Oh,
place them
okay.
on file.
Is that fair, everybody? Sure. All right, looking for a motion to accept all,
Move to approve.
12, 13, and 14?
Yes.
Okay, so a motion by Zagami to accept 12, 13, and 14, all three post events. Looking for a second?
Second.
Second by Wyland. Hearing no more discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried, thank you. Moving back to, we had public comments, meetings, minutes from previous meeting, approval of minutes from previous meeting, October 21st, 2024, excuse me.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve by Zagami, second by Ermeling. Anything on the discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Acknowledge work product transmittals. Number 5, November budget status report. Really, it's in our packets. Any questions?
Move to acknowledge the November budget status report.
Motion to acknowledge by Wyland,
Second.
second by Ermeling. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. 6, CDB reports. Tim?
Yeah, before we go to that other point, just a few things to report about. Tim White, 225-721 Red Mountain, Swan Avenue, Red Mountain. So I just wanted to keep you abreast of everything that's going on. This last week, on Friday, the president for the the National Horseshoe Pitchers Association, Ben Webb, drove 10.5 hours from Kentucky to come up and tour the area, the greater Wausau area, tour the facilities. And he was really impressed with the whole area and is pretty excited. We're working out a couple of logistical kinks and we'll keep you abreast of that, but just really excited about that for 26 and 29. Then we're working with we're on for sure for the NFL draft, April 23rd to the 25th. We're working with the hotels right now to set both rates and packages. We have Lamers shuttles scheduled to have a package deal so that we'll advertise to the west of here. So we'll get some Minnesota Vikings fans, I'm sure. So apologies later, but they'll stay here in the area. They'll take Lamers shuttles to Lambeau. And we've got 3 shuttles for the first day on Thursday, 2 on Friday and 1 on Saturday because the draft kind of wanes. But there are all kinds of amazing things that will be happening down at Lambeau Field in that whole Green Bay district. So we're actually going to do advertising west of here to get people to take those packages. Then you know about the Mission of Mercy event. We're working on a few other projects that we can't talk about because we've been told not to. But that's just the way that is. And then our Book Direct integration, the thing that we added to the website and are continuing to hone in the website. That's been going for 2.5 months and it's been going very well. We've gotten 630 direct referrals, booking hotels right off of our website, which is a new thing, and over $12,000 in estimated revenue. So as it continues to bake, it's just a great way to, people if they're excited about experiencing something, they're on our website, call a question, will be to book a room. So, and then lastly, we have a kind of a new tool, communication tool for you. If you go to visitwasa.com/marketing, you'll be able to go and see all the latest content that we're putting out there, TV commercials, digital streaming commercials, social media posts. And so it's kind of a one-stop shop for all of our partners to be able to just look at some of the things that we're doing. You may not see some things on a regular basis, but you will on this page, because if we're advertising out to the, another area outside of the region. Yes?
What page are you?
visitwasa.com/marketing. So now we put the sizzle reel up on Weston as well. So that's basically just a few things.
Did some videotaping of business around here? Tell us about that.
Yeah, actually, we've got a number of video that we've done. And we have a chef profile that is gonna be coming out shortly. It'll be Mark was from Osso Buco, highlighting him. We had the chef Nate from Red Eye, and Osso Buco is coming out here shortly. It'll be online and through our social media channels as well, kind of a, you know, Food Network kind of a thing, highlighting the stories and the way that how chefs got to be in the central Wisconsin area. So if you keep going down, you'll see all the videos. Those are just news press releases, but yeah, you'll see our base camp 30-second ad. We're doing a winter kind of a chill 30-second commercial that we'll be starting. Yeah, so you can take a look at all that stuff and just see what's going on.
Congratulations on your recent award.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we got a Trailblazer Award from the state for our work with Great Pinery Heritage Waterway, and we will continue to work and help and develop those kinds of things.
Sure. Any more questions with him? Anybody? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
We got all the grants done, and now we're on old business 15, discussion and or action on updated tourism entity agreement for 2025 with the Wausau CVB. I'd like to start on this. I attended a meeting with our administrator in the village of Rothschild, Ryan Van Wall, and David. I don't know his last name, but he's in marketing and several other functions with the village of Rothschild. And it was a couple weeks ago. It was at the Holiday Inn in Rothschild. Several hoteliers were there from the board and from that area, from Rothschild, because they definitely want to, you know, help the situation with Rothschild. And we were there as neighbors with Rothschild to help too. I thought it was an excellent meeting. I had to leave a little early, but there wasn't too much afterwards. But I will tell you, myself personally, through this entire ordeal, if you want to call it that, Tim Van Diak talked at one point in the meeting, and for those of you that were there. And he just resonated with me what this is about. Because I'm not gonna kid you. My whole process through this was to gather and keep more money for Weston, for events. That's just what I felt I should be doing. I should be trying to keep as much money for our community, our village, our hotels, our events. And when he spoke, and I believe it was Dale Elliott's daughter that also said some things, and I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but she said she would rather never do another event. You know, and I'm talking a single event, a wedding or something like that. You know, the bowling, the 16 weeks of bowling, that's a whole nother deal. Obviously, a great snowfall for skiing is another deal too. But the events are, you know, the one-offs. And when Tim spoke, he talked very effectively for me anyway, that it's about the CVB and it's about the marketing and it's about the reach. And it's not about here. It's not about this one event, this snowmobile deal or this or that we believe, because we're on this commission, is so important because we get to grant this money. It feels great to do this. It really does. But I'll tell you, it really made a lot of sense there. So I'm probably not going to be as aggressive on that amount tonight. And I think we can come to a good, fair, you know, agreement, contract, and work this together, because this is what it's got to be. And for me, I think the back and forth we've had is, I think we're at a 35-35 right now. I think we got some paperwork back that said the minimum is 37.5 to be involved, and then to do the paperwork 40%. And we've done the paperwork here for the village. You know, you don't all have to agree with me here, so you can jump right in here as soon as I'm done, and I'll finish up quick. We've done the paperwork, and it gets very emotional. It gets, you know, there's pet projects, there's pet events every year that you want to push for. Tonight, I'm not going to lie to you, I was pushing for the Wisconsin Valley Fair. I'm glad what you did. I'm glad we cut it, you know, to where it was. It's a first event, but that's a huge event, and it needs some help. And but what Tim said was that the CVB, the whole thing is about the selling and the marketing of the entire area, not about the events. So I'm gonna let others talk here. I know the 37.5 and 40 is still there, I would say, and I will be pushing for 40. I don't want nothing else in there, in my opinion. I don't want none of this marketing means business or sports authority or anything else like that. I know Rothschild is trying to skew their contract because of that 100 grand that they give for the thing out there, which makes sense to me. But, you know, we were at 45 total. And I think, a reduction to 40. But then, you know, Jody would continue how she handles the business for us, and it keeps our staff and our emotions out of the request. That's what I will be supporting tonight, whether it's a majority or not, I don't know. So jump in here. I'll try not to talk anymore.
I agree with the 40%. We don't want to be doing with paperwork. I was when we did paperwork, and believe me, it's very difficult because you're dealing too personally with. And I think we can have an agreement, as long as it's 40%.
You know, I don't know
I
if we
think
could have
it's a
sat here
win-win.
tonight and pushed harder and maybe got the 37.5, maybe got the 35, but I don't want to hear about it in 6 months. I don't want to hear about it in a year. I want to be together. I want to do this right. I want to be one of the good communities that pushes forward and tries to work together with this. These aren't even our dollars. My God, these are the hotels. You know, we're basically saying, hey, come on, give me the money. Oh, and by the way, the first 30%, we get to keep and do whatever the hell we want with. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You know, we shouldn't be able to do that, but that's, I don't know, did you do that or somebody did that? So somebody said we get to keep the 30% and we should, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead. I promise I won't talk.
I just like to move to approve the contract with the
Oh.
40%. And 37.5% be for their marketing and other costs, and 2.5% for administrating our grant program.
Well, I'll wait for a second first. Is there a second? Is there a second?
I'll second just to get it on.
Okay, because I have a question. So on the question, so a motion by Zagami, second by Ermeling. Does it have to be stated 3740 or can we just say 40?
We prefer if you would outline it in the contract of what the percentage you would like to go towards, because we are audited. We
So
do send that
we-
to our auditor.
We should just say 40 then.
And how you, if you want it all to be in the CDB, or if you want it to still be a part of Sports Authority for the grant program.
Yeah,
We would need to know what that.
I think most of us said that we don't want any more categories. We want just one pot. So you mark it, and if you believe it's 2.5% to do the paperwork, then I guess the way Husheng did the motion of a 37.5 and 2.5% to do the paperwork. So it's a total package of 40. And would that be the way you want to hear it?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
acceptance of the rest of the agreement.
Right.
You're approving the entire agreement with those percentages outlined.
I didn't see in the contract we specify for a sport authority. Did we do that?
We did not. That was all taken out.
We took it
So
out.
we would
Yeah.
slightly change the verbiage that the percentage would include the 2.5 and the 37, but other than that, the rest of the.
Where does the money
Here's
that's
my motion.
in that pot of the sports authority or the meetings, where's that money gonna go now?
If you would, it would all go to like the CDB if that's what you want. Otherwise, you could do what.
But was it ours to ask for to be used or not?
The Sports Authority and municipality grant funds, that's funded, approved by our board of directors.
Okay. All right, then it is what it is.
Then
Okay.
we're okay.
Yep, we're fine.
So my motion stays.
Yep.
Yeah, because this would be funds that would be next year.
Yep.
So anything that would be through this year would be the same as it is now.
Yeah, well, we're still under the old contract because we actually didn't dissolve it. Yeah. Well, no, we didn't. Yeah, didn't.
I don't agree with it.
Mhm.
I think we should be back down at 35%, if not hire a accounting firm to take care of the money. I understand that tourism dollars come from the hotels, but it's our responsibility to spend that responsibly. I don't think that the CVB advertises well enough for Weston. I really have to dig for the material. I didn't live here. I wouldn't know what visitwasa.com is, let alone /marketing. just looking at that commercial, I did not see one thing about Weston in there. So,
That was our winter one. We're redeveloping a winter one that was to come out on January sixth.
right, but unless I was on this, at this board, I wouldn't know anything about it.
You know,
So
Jamie,
how,
one of the things that we look to do is we look to advertise to people on the outside. And so the perception or the plan is to put the most attractive things on on our marketing materials, things that are going to get people to come here. And then for them to discover additional things, places to eat, culture and arts, retail, shopping, that kind of stuff.
how,
That's where we put the majority of so we try to spread the love in terms of coverage. And if there's, like, for example, if you go to the sizzle reel on the Weston page, it has all Weston oriented stuff. So, and we're getting more and more footage. Again, Marco, Asso Buco is here. We specifically put that together with Weston in mind so that people know what a great restaurant Asso Buco is. We've featured Time and Cellar many times. We talked about the Mountain Bay Trail, the Eau Claire River, all that stuff. You are a Ice Age Trail community now, and 4 million people hike the Ice Age Trail community. And so you are the closest, you have the closest lodging, the closest presence to the Ice Age Trail. So this is the first stop in that. But again, our focus is, based on two things, right? So it's our gut instinct, which is fine, but it's also looking at what does the outside world see this area as, right? And so they all consider it Wausau. That's the DMA, the media market. That's what they consider it. It's not a rub at any municipality, but that's just kind of, that's why we have the brand and Visit Wausau, because that, that's what.
I'm just gonna shut that down a little bit and
Yeah, sure.
have a discussion between the board here, because we're right in the middle of a motion. So we have a motion and a second. Any more? No. Hearing no more discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
me,
No. So we have a 3-1 vote on acceptance of the contract.
Just one more thing too, Jamie. The
Yeah.
other thing is, we've been in a discussion and listening to you, right? So you told me about the launches and I made sure I changed those. You tell us what's wrong with something.
Well, why don't we get another meeting off of this?
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, we got,
We wanna.
as Jim said, we got 549 pages tonight, so.
Yep.
Yeah, but thank you though. I appreciate the talk and the concern and discussion.
Sure.
But Jamie's got some legitimate things. I've looked at some of the stuff she's brought up too. And I 2 or 3 meetings ago, all of a sudden, boom, our kayak launches are in, boom, 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 a whole bunch of stuff. I kind of heard at one of the meetings, well, tell us what you want in and we'll put it in there. Not our job. So, it's kind of, this is what the CDB does. And I've been around with the Wausau and I've been here so long. I mean, it used to be Central Wisconsin and all this. Central Wisconsin just doesn't identify this area. As much as I would love it to have a different name than Wausau, but Wausau identifies this area. It does. Central Wisconsin is going to be Stevens Point. It could be anywhere. But Wausau gets you here and then the surrounding area is the playground. So, yeah, you can't have it any other way. It's almost has to be the way it is. And it was on 60 Minutes forever. So anyway. Okay, so contracts approved, remarks from committee members. Jamie? Nope. Husheng?
None.
Barb?
no.
Myself? None. Remarks from the chair. Have a great Christmas. I'll get to say this a couple times tonight. And thanks for your service over the year. And looking for a next regular meeting is January 20th, 2025. Time to be determined and looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Ermeling, second by Zagami. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We are adjourned at 4:59.